and the Sri Kailasa nation on this very day in the previous year since the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started his public life. So without further ado, we'll be entering into the first year of the glorious past. The first year, starting with the 11th of January 2001, on the day 1-2 of the 3-day Chandi Homa, personally performed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the revival of the Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem in Kavuntapadi, Erode, Tamil Nadu, South India, on the 9th, 10th and 11th of January 2001, when he was only 23 years of age. This powerful fire ritual offering to Devi Chandi, the universal cosmic mother, happened in Kavuntapadi, a village in Erode, the venue in the famous Kaliamman temple in Kavuntapadi, and the head of the temple is seen in the photographs as well. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was honored by the indigenous Mudalyar community that owns the temple. So in this picture we can see the young Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the fire ritual, the Chandi Homa. Homas, for those who are not familiar, are fire rituals where through the fire we invoke a deity, a god or a goddess, to which we offer our worship, our devotion. So in the Vedic tradition, in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, fire is the medium used to invoke from the unmanifest to the manifest. There are 5 elements, the Panchabhutas, 2 of them being physical and 2 of them being non-physical. So the earth and the water are physical elements, the ether and the wind are non-physical elements, and the fire is the bridge, which is physical and non-physical simultaneously. Therefore, the fire, also known as Agni, is used as a medium in order to bridge the physical to the non-physical. So in the same way, during Homas, the bridge between us, who are existing in the physical plane, and gods and goddesses who exist in more subtler planes, the fire is used as a bridge in order to invite the gods and goddesses to make their presence experienced, their blessings experienced. So through this worship we relate and receive the blessings of, in this case, Devi Chandi. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been growing since his very tender age with rituals and temple happenings as he grew up in a temple-based community in Tiruvannamalai next to the Arunachaleshwara temple. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was trained from very early age. He was initiated and trained from the very early age to perform various rituals and to help assisting in various rituals. So he, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, considers himself as a Shakta, a Devi, worshipper of Shakti, of Devi. So in this ritual, which is actually a very elaborate ritual, for those who do not know, the Chandi Homa is a very, very long ritual, 16 hours and more ritual. So it requires dedication and intensity in order to be able to bring this ritual to completion. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being a worshipper of Devi Parashakti, is used to sit for hours, hours and hours in front of the Homakunda, in front of the Agni, the fire pit, and fire, and worship, offer the worship to Devi Chandi. Devi Chandi gives her protection, blessings and power to those who invoke her and offer with devotion the various offerings required in order to complete this ritual. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism starting his public life in the year 2001, and not only invoking Devi Chandi, but making her presence bless all the people who gathered with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to take part in this amazing Devi Chandi Homa ritual. We can see more pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism making the various offerings in order to bring this sacred ritual for Devi Parashakti, Devi Chandi, to completion. You can see the offering of Arti to the Homakunda. Also on the right with a sugar can and a cloth, vastram, wrapped around it, slowly offering this cloth into the fire. The cloth is normally made of silk. It's a silk sari dipped in ghee in order for the offering to be proper and complete.
Yes. So let us now move on to the next year, which is the 11th of January 2008, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism welcomes a new batch of Kailasavasis, the permanent residents of Kailasa. It is such a fortunate experience to become a Kailasavasi, that is, living in the breathing space of the avatar, living in the space of the avatar, the Samipya Mukti, where literally day and night you have the avatar in your breathing space, and just being an extension of an avatar, doing the beautiful seva, whether it is in the temple or in the Jnanalaya or the Annalaya. It is a wonderful experience where normally, when many of us go to work in our offices or wherever we work in the outer world, we see lots of instances where we have so much of frustration or tiredness and boredom, and the not willing to do the work, as the only reason you're going to work is just for the salary that we are getting, or maybe some perks that we have in our work, but not exactly for the development of our consciousness. And here, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives us this beautiful opportunity that by doing the seva, becoming enlightened, getting the space of Advaita and enlightenment. And here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blessing the new batch of Kailasavasis, the permanent residents of Kailasa. And we'll now be moving on to the next year.
So entering in the next year of the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the mission of reviving Sanatana Hindu Dharma, on the year 2011, on the 11th of January, as part of the morning satsang, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains the different words in the sutra, Samadhi, Siddhi and Ishvara. He defines Samadhi as a part of active spiritualism and says Samadhi as getting back to one's original leadership quality. Samadhi is more than just altered states of consciousness. He defines Siddhi as the ripening of you in you. When the ripening happens, Samadhi also happens. He then explains Ishvara as the ultimate experience of happening in the place you can relate to. He elaborates this by taking examples which we relate, like mind, identity, physical body, etc. So in this enlightening discourse, which you can access on Nithyanandapedia if you type this day, 11th of January 2011, this discourse will be then made available to you. You can also go to the YouTube channel of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam, and listen to this enlightening talk about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, revealing the secrets, sacred secrets behind Samadhi, Siddhi and Ishvara. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being recognized as the 1008th avatar of Paramashiva, um, operates, is established, permanently established in the space of pure oneness with Paramashiva, something which is crucial in order to give commentaries on the various sutras of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. These sutras were revealed from the space of oneness with Paramashiva, and therefore, in order to understand and map these cosmic truths to this physical existence properly, being in the space of oneness is required. Without that space of pure oneness, the translation, the mapping of these cosmic truths cannot happen properly and will lead to misguiding those who read the translations of such sutras. So here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is blessing all of us, giving us the right understanding, the right cognitions that we should contemplate on, that we should do manana upon, and allow this truth to be cognized in our depth and radiated in a way that we can enrich ourselves and people around us. So again, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands on Samadhi, leadership qualities, and Siddhi, the happening of the ripening inside of you, as well as Ishvara. So inviting those, all of you actually, to go and have a listen to this enlightening talk by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, given on the 11th of January 2011.
And with that, we'll now be moving on to the 11th of January 2012, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism delivers a special discourse to the live global audience. Let's all get into a space of deep listening and hear this wonderful discourse by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
मुक्तिप्रदं देवं क्षमापूर्णं जगद्गुरुं वन्दे परमहंसाख्यं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम् आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम् आनन्दानुभवास्वादं सर्वरोगनिवारकं वन्दे पापविनाशक्तं नित्यानन्दाय स्वागतम्.
Secret doors to enlightenment. The doors towards enlightenment through the path of yogic physiology and through the path of yogic psychology. Path of yogic physiology means, I can give you hundreds of examples: Hatha yoga, asana, pranayama, breathing techniques. All these are yogic physiology. And yogic psychology means cognitive shift, means giving you the right understanding about the self, God, giving you clear understanding about man, universe, man-made self and man-made universe. Giving you the ultimate experience through these understandings is yogic psychology. In this verse, Bhagavan is opening both the doors. He is opening the door of yogic physiology and yogic psychology. See, if you understand the yogic physiology, how your physiology functions by its nature, how it functions if the social biomemories are added, if the society's patterns are inserted, and how the same organs, sense organs behave, function, if the yogic psychology is added to your life. This whole is what I call understanding of yogic physiology. For example, let me touch only one part of your physiology. The spleen. Normally how a man's spleen functions, if he is given the social conditioning of fight or flight response, how the spleen functions, if he is given the spiritual response, I can say yogic psychology, the way to face the reality, if he is given that understanding, how his spleen functions. Spleen does not need outer situation to make you feel suffocated or threatened. Same way, your root center does not need outside man or woman to make you experience the stimulation. They are independent of external expression because the strength of your reproductive organs and the spleen is stronger than any other organ of your body, especially the organ through which you perceive the jnanendriyas, like eye, ear, tongue, smell, touch. Your reproductive organ and spleen both are more powerful, stronger, have upper hand than your jnanendriyas. So, your jnanendriyas input means the physical input is not required for your spleen to make you feel threatened or your reproductive organ to make you feel excited or elated or triggered. You don't need external stimuli to experience some of the strongest experiences of your life. What a pathetic condition human beings are. Strongest experiences of his life is lust and fear. For both, he doesn't need to be dependent on the external world. It means external world is immaterial. Just your spleen and the reproductive organ can exploit your whole life and manage your whole life as it wants.
Inner awakening. Stunning health recoveries. 100% cure for depression, insomnia, asthma, fatigue, chronic pain, insecurity, panic attacks, and other major disorders. Awaken the Kundalini Shakti, the dormant energy within. What would you do if you had 1300% more energy? A disease-free mind and body is your first wealth. Claim it at Inner Awakening. Inner Awakening, a 21-day meditation retreat with rare living incarnation, Paramahamsa Nithyananda. For more information, please contact Nithyananda Dhyanapitham, Nithyananda Nagar, Bidadi, Bengaluru. Phone 77-609-80635.
Hi, I'm Alok Sharma. I live in West Lafayette, Indiana, and I study at Purdue University. I came back for summer vacation, and my parents asked me if I want to come to Inner Awakening, but initially I said no, and somehow by a fateful turn of events, I ended up coming here, and I have not regretted it so far. It's been a great experience. We've been doing a lot of things. The yoga, right now I'm late for yoga, so we've been doing yoga, we've been doing a lot of meditation. The food's great. The people here are wonderful. And more than anything else, it's the development of the inner space that we're all here for. And as of now, I feel I've become a lot calmer than I was before, even though I've done a lot of meditation before. Currently, every day I sleep for about 4 hours, but I'm not cranky. I'm happy, and I think that this would be a transformational program for anyone, regardless of age. Thank you.
Nithyananda Ananda Andal, and I'm a 14-year-old disciple of Swamiji. And Inner awakening has been a really, really amazing experience. Being with Swamiji for 21 days in his breathing space is just like, you have to go. It's even if you have the money or not, just write an intention and get blessings from Swamiji. You have to go. It's so much fun. You get darshans from him like every night, and you can ask him whatever you want, and it's just amazing. The people here are like your family. You just like feel connected to everyone. You're just like a big family, and it's all happy and blissful, and you do yoga every day in the morning and meditations and kriyas, and you spend a whole day with Swamiji, which is like the best thing ever everyone like would want. And so the food is like all vegetarian, which is surprisingly really good. 21 days with Swamiji is really amazing, being in his breathing space, and everyone has to experience this. Even if they can come. If they can't, they still have to come, because it's amazing. It's like one in a lifetime experience. I think it's gonna really help me, because I'm like in relationship and all that. It's just helping me realize all this stuff, so when I get older, I don't have to go through all the struggles that people have to go through to realize this. So I'm really blessed that at 14 I'm getting all this. You could come at any age, as long as you're open to whatever Swamiji is going to be teaching you. So whatever age you are, you have to come.
External world is immaterial. Just your spleen and the reproductive organ can exploit your whole life and manage your whole life as it wants. Just the idea somebody can harass you is enough to make you take the decision of going in some other direction. In that direction again, the same idea somebody else can harass you can make you take the diversion in some other direction. So you are constantly taking diversion just with the idea that somebody can harass you, without any input of real harassment from the external world, without any data which can concretely create fear or fight, flight, freeze response in your system. Just your spleen can manage to make you run around continuously, take diversion, take diversion, take diversion, take diversion. We have a small book published. The front page will say, how to keep you busy whole day. See the last page. When you turn the last page will say, how to keep you busy whole day. See the first page. See the first page, then again see the last page, again see the first page, again see the last page. Without reading a single page of the book, you can be kept busy whole day. Without having a single incident which can really activate flight, fight, freeze response, you can be kept engaged in fear, in the take diversion mode throughout your life, just by your spleen. Just the understanding about spleen. I am not even talking in the yogic psychological way, I am talking in yogic physiological way, is enough to remove terrorism on the planet Earth. Terrorism is nothing but, before he attacks, let me attack. There is enough of information and input. He is going to attack me and I am going to be killed. Anyway, before he does that, let me do it. That is all. Is the base of terrorism. That is all. Is basis of all violence. Just the understanding of spleen. That you can be constantly told to take diversion without any real danger in front of you. Same way, you can be constantly excited without real stimuli from the external. Your reproductive organ, by its waxing and waning, the waning and waxing is enough for you to experience the excitement and stimuli without any external object or person required. Just like a moon, your reproductive organ has a waxing and waning period. the experience of the system inside itself is capable enough to give you any excitement or stimulation independent of the input from the external world through your jnanendriyas, external senses. What a pathetic condition human beings are. You constantly believe it is external inputs through your senses makes you take the decision. But that is the worst lie ever taught to you. In those days in the Western schools, they used to teach planet Earth is flat. Please understand, never ever in Eastern schools it was taught planet Earth was flat. It was always taught planet Earth is in a shape which our mind cannot grasp, or it was taught planet Earth is a globe. That was the way the East understood the planet Earth. How the basic lesson which was taught in many Western schools, the planet Earth is a flat, once that turns out to be a lie, practically every lesson you learnt based on that concept is a lie. Same way, the first lesson you learnt in your life, either from the schools or universities or from your parents or the society, the inputs you receive from the external objects or happenings through your senses is the information or the fact based on which you make decisions is a lie. Let you all achieve, experience, live.
So after having a glimpse of this video, of which happened in 2012, it is now moved to the year 2013. So on the 11th of January 2013, as part of the morning satsang, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continues his discussion of authenticity with the example of Nachiketa, a young prince who saw his father behaving disrespectfully to the gods. Nachiketa took responsibility for his father's inauthenticity, pretending to worship but not enacting the inward spirit of devotion. Without insulting his father, he wanted to protect him from falling out of integrity, so he offered himself to appease the gods. He acts as a team member for his father, a subject and supporter, not attempting to displace his king's authority. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism warns his followers that anyone who believes himself to be a team leader is a failure. Everyone stands authentically only as members of a team. This creates the possibility of peaceful coexistence with all humanity. So in this discourse, again available if you go to Nithyanandapedia or the YouTube channel of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands on authenticity, which is one of the four tattvas, the four cosmic principles revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to the world in those years. Authenticity being the second of these tattvas, Shraddha. And Nachiketa is the embodiment of Shraddha. In the Katha Upanishad, the story of Nachiketa and the relationship he has with Paramashiva and Yama and his father is displayed, expressing his Shraddha, his authenticity. Here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism expands on authenticity and also expands on leadership, how everyone is part of a team, and it's not that the team leader is separate from the team itself. If you cognize yourself as a team leader separate from the team, that will lead the team to its destruction. So in order for the possibility for peaceful coexistence with all, it is very important to always remember that we are part of a team and that we should attend to our responsibilities in the way that they should be attended to. So before going into the next year, we'll be taking a short break. We'll be right back in a few moments. Stay tuned for the further years in a few moments. Yes, so welcoming all of you back. Before moving on to the next year, we have a few more events on the year of 2013. Here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the Nitya Kriya Yoga program, which is a program designed, one of the programs which was designed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to help individuals to purify their bodies, to expand their chakras, and to experience and have a glimpse of the oneness with Paramashiva, to allow the Kundalini awakening to happen in the body, to get rid of the engrams in the biomemory and the muscle memory. So program designed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and personally attended and conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This program, like most of the programs designed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, leads into an individual darshan at the end of the day, where each and every one has an opportunity to come physically in front of Swamiji and receive his touch, his blessing, and allow the Kundalini awakening to happen and to flush everything which has been worked on during that day. So we can see a glimpse of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism radiating the bliss as usual. We can also see in that program the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism giving the Mahakalavhairava Darshan. So in the early years, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started to give these darshans, he physically allowed Mahakalavhairava or invoked Mahakalavhairava to land in his body and to express without any filter. Those who have had the opportunity to be physically present around the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism during such darshans surely will have amazing memories to share, as these darshans are extremely powerful and completely unique. Most of the time these darshans are followed by the opportunity of having to ask one question and being answered directly by Mahakalavhairava himself. So when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gets into the Bhava Samadhi of Kalavhairava, his physical body actually expands, his muscles grow, and even his height increases, something which is a sight to be seen. So here we can have a few pictures of this happening. If you want to see more about it, you again go on Nityandapedia on the 11th January of 2013, and you'll be able to access more pictures and more content about the Mahakalavhairava Darshan. So with this, moving on to the next year.
The next we have the 11th of January 2016, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism raises the Nityotsavam flag, the Dvajarohanam. This is a beautiful celebration in the Hindu Sanatana Dharma, where at the beginning and end of each festival, the flag of the temple is raised and lowered. It is in the Vedic tradition, in the Vedas and Agamas, how the cities are planned is the temple is on the most highest platform of the whole land, and in that highest platform we have this huge staff which is called the Dvajastamba, the staff of the which carries the flag, the sacred flag, and that staff is visible to all the citizens of the whole city. of the whole town, and whenever a celebration begins, we raise the flag to let the whole city know that the celebration has begun, and so that everyone can be prepared to and get notified to attend the celebrations and make their offerings ready, as during the celebrations of a temple, all the sects, all the aspects of the village, whether it is the people who produce the grain, or the dancers of the village, or the students of the whole city, or all the various sects of the village, come and offer their respects to the temple during the Brahmotsavam, during the Mahotsava, the celebration. And that is why the raising of the staff is a very important aspect in the Brahmotsava, where we let the whole village know that the celebration has begun and it's time for everyone to come and celebrate. And that is the context of the Dwajarohanam, that is the raising of the flag. And it itself is a very special ritual where we begin by consecrating the flag. We invoke Bhagavan Paramashiva, or the presiding deity of the celebration, in the flag itself. And then it is raised by, in our case, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself raises the flag of the Nityotsava, which is the eternal celebration. And it is such a wonderful ritual to watch. And even in a few days, we will be having the Nityotsava Dwajaroham again, as the Jayanti celebrations have come to an end, and we are having the culmination rituals of the float festival, the Tepotsavam, and after that we'll be having the Dwajarohanam again for the Nityotsava, the eternal celebration. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism raising the Nityotsava flag, the Dwajarohanam, and we'll now be moving on to the next years. Another beautiful happening that happened on the 11th of January 2016 is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiates the Balasans of Nithyananda Gurukul into various powers of Paramashiva. This was a very amazing day where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism called all of the Balasans to the courtyard, to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism courtyard, and initiated each of us into the various powers, where we began manifesting the next level powers. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism earlier in 2014 had initiated the Balasans to begin the power of third eye reading and the preliminary powers. And it was then in 2016 where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism took the powers, the power manifesting, to a whole new level, initiating us into almost all of the 463 powers that Paramashiva has given in the Agamas, and continuously training all the Balasans day and night to manifest those powers, to give the initiation and see and train the Balasans in manifesting the various powers. And many of you would have also come to the various programs such as Inner Awakening, Sadashivoham, and the programs of the Nityananda Yogam, where you would have seen the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism directly initiating the Balasans and training the Balasans and manifesting the powers. And that was a very auspicious day where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed the 463 powers and gave the initiation to begin the manifestation.
So let us now move into the year 2017. On the 11th of January, the Rudra Darshan celebrations in Adi Kailasa, graced by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism physically attended part of those of the celebrations. So here we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism bowing down, offering his respects to Lord Nataraja. So Rudra Darshan is one of special happening which happens only a few times throughout the years, where Nataraja, the cosmic dancer, the form of Paramashiva in as a cosmic dance, performing the Panchakritya, the five activities of Paramashiva, which is creation, sustenance, destruction and rejuvenation, putting in delusion and pulling out of delusion, as well as liberation. So Nataraja is the embodiment of this Panchakritya. So here we can see beautifully decorated Nataraja adorned with many flower garlands, and the brahmacharis and sannyasis and Adi Kailasa Vasis moving across the Adinam with the Nataraja, dancing and allowing the procession to take place. So we're having a glimpse of those celebrations in these pictures. We can see here more pictures again. So Nataraja taken all across the Adinam to all the various locations of the Adinam to finally come back to the main temple, the Garbha Mandir, in front of Nityanandeshwara and Nityanandeshwari to finalize the procession and to get the final blessings of Nataraja during this Rudra Darshan.
We will now be moving on to the 11th of January 2018, where we can see the short video, seeing the glimpses of the happenings of the day of 11th of January. So let us now get ready to watch a beautiful video.
On the first day of the Nitya Dhyana Yoga program, the participants were shown the latent possibilities of powers that is going to be awakened in them by the end of the program. Participants witnessed various powers being demonstrated by the Balasants and the disciples of Paramahamsa Nityananda. On the first day of the Nityananda Yoga teacher training, the participants were directly introduced into the way Sadashiva taught yoga to Devi. They started to learn the yogic Sanskrit slokas corresponding to each asana. Swamiji said the original authentic way of teaching yoga that he is reviving will be one of his major contribution to the world of yoga all over the globe. Samacharet 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 Asanam 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 Vijitam 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 Yena Yena Yena.
let us now enter into the next year of 2019 on the 11th of January 2019. So here we have a video, a short video, a video about the highlights of Paramashivoham. So the program, the Paramashivoham program, was conducted for the first time by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in December 2018 and January, finishing in January of 2019. Here we are reaching the final day of the program, and we can have the highlights of the entire program in this video. Again, this video is available on Nithyandapedia, so inviting all of you who want to see this video fully to go, and I would suggest each and everyone to go have a look and see this video fully. So let us, for us, have a glimpse of this highlights of the Paramashivoham program.
Beyond the expectations, the humanly expectations I had.
It is Divya Sharira. Like as soon as you enter the stage, you will experience his energy field and you are entering into it.
However, Darshan is entirely new level.
And this is not only a program, this is something I'm walking towards myself, towards the divine, my higher consciousness.
I felt Swamiji in the darshan in the most powerful way.
I saw Kala with his big eyes and that the round thing that we have at the gate.
प्रशक्यशागिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे कामे कामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वैश्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः
सनडि पोற்றி சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி நேயத்தே நிந்தரி மலனடி போற்றி ஆயப்பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி சீரார் பெரும் துறையினம் தேவனடி போற்றி ஆராத இன்பம் அருளும் மலை போற்றி ஈசனே சிந்தை கவலவந்த நேசனே நீ வருவாய் கொடு கனிகளை கொண்டு உன்னை பூஜித்தோ அருள் தருவாய் கலி என்னும் கடலினில் மூழ்கிட்டேயும் இனி கரம் தந்து காத்து கருணை பொய்கையில் அலர்ந்திட்ட அலவத்மம் போல உன் திருவடியில் வாழ்ந்திட நிற்கிறேன் வாராய் அருணாச்சலனே நீ வாராய் அகண்ட ஜோதியனே வாராய் மந்திரம் போற்றுகின்ற ஈசனே சிந்தை கவரும் நேசனே நீ வருவாய் ஒடு கனிகளை கொண்டு பூஜித்தோம் அருள் தருவாய்.
When I just finished yoga, I am radiating energy. I had just an hour and a half sleep, and I felt like I have 24 hours of sleep after yoga. And this yoga, Swamiji hosts himself and energizes us during the yoga. Too good.
What you are going to do now is the ultimate yoga. I am aligning your physical body, internal organs like lungs, kidney, intestine, liver, heart, brain, and intra organ like Anahata, Manipuraga, Vishuddhi, Anya. Your physical body, internal organ, intra organ, and your very self being aligned completely to Paramashiva. So you are just like that able to manifest the state, space, powers, being, super consciousness of Paramashiva. Let's start.
We had a Swamiji Darshan, wherein Swamiji was giving us powers and initiations. So there was sudden change before and after Swamiji Darshan. Okay, after the Darshan, I could feel a lot of powers coming in through my body, lot of energy coming through my body, and suddenly I was feeling like I'm more energized. Okay, I'm not feeling sleepy at all even after going home, going to the hotel room at night. And in the early morning, we wake up at 3 a.m. Then we start yoga at 4 a.m. early in the morning. And within the yoga programs also, I'm seeing a lot of changes my body is going through. And I'm able to take up such poses like Sirsasana, which was impossible for me to do earlier.
There are some initiations I can give you using this physical body. There are some initiations I can give you using my dream body, Swapna Sarira. There are some initiations I can give you using my Sushup, deep sleep body. There are some initiations I can give you using my Turiya Sarira. There are some initiations I can give you using my Turiyatida Sarira. Understand? This whole Paramashivoham I am going to conduct using my Turiyadita Sarira through that 7D hologram. That is my Divya Sarira, through which I am going to manifest. The power manifestation is going to be 100 times more intense in quantity and quality both.
This time, we started with teleportation and materialization, and I can tell you it just happened so smoothly. So the initiation which we had with Swamiji through his Divya Sarira was something else. Like, you know, we could literally feel the energy.
The way Swamiji has just taken us and kept us with him in his womb and held us together, it's beautiful. I'm feeling so liberated just by attending this. There's so much completion that's happening. There's so much past that's shedding. It's truly a program to turn from man to divine, man to Superman. And I'm experiencing this within me. I felt these divine. Today's Darshan was so divine. Today was an experience given to us by Swamiji to express how divinity feels like.
So again, inviting each and every one of you to go see the complete video of the highlights of the first Paramashivoham conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through the hologram. It was a program that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism made available through his Divya Sharira. So with this, we'll be moving on to the Darshan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Let us now enter into the space of meditation, sitting, the head, neck and spine in a straight line,